What's up? HonorHammer26 here, and this is going to be my very first and long-awaited Q&A. If you would like to send me a Q&A question on pro wrestling, sports, pretty much anything, after watching this video, go into my profile, send me a private message. That's the way I want the question, and I think that's the best way to do it. If I do not read your question, because every question I got, I will be reading at one point, but I don't think I have time to read every single question. I'll read yours at a later Q&A if I don't read it now, but I think the fairest way to do it is just to do it in the order that I got the question. So I'll start off with this question from WrestlingHandyManInc. If Jack Swagger ever gets released, do you think he'd be good in ROH? I think if they put a manager on him, like if Larry Sweeney came back and they put a manager on him and Larry Sweeney did all the talking and it was just Jack Swagger in the ring, I think he'd do fine. Or if he was like in a heel faction and other members got to do all the mic skills things, I think he'd do perfectly. So one of those two roles is basically what I see him doing, because I think you kind of have already somebody who doesn't have, who only has like okay mic skills and gets over with the fans. I don't think that's going to work again. So I think just Roderick Strong is that guy, and you don't have another space for that. What is your favorite non-major ROH show? This question is from Coogland. What is your favorite non-major ROH show? Major shows to me include pay-per-views, Supercard of Honor, Glory by Honor, Death Before Dishonor, Final Battle, and All Star Extravaganza. If you count WrestleMania weekend shows, I'd have to see maybe Fate of an Angel or the original Manhattan Mayhem, but if you don't, I'm going to say Better Than Our Best. And those shows out, and I definitely recommend picking up all of those shows if you haven't already. What period, this is again from Coogland, what period of time was ROH at its best to you, including best talent, storylines, and shows? Summer of Punk is definitely one that sticks out in my mind. Also the Milestone series from 2006. And there's a period that I think I kind of consider from 5th Year Festival New York in 2007 to Man Up. I think that period was absolutely phenomenal. Just one great match after another after another. So, final question from Coogland. Do you think Smackdown will be awesome still into the next year, or will be dramatically changed to How About Raw? I think ECW will be dramatically changed to How About Raw. They kind of already did that with Swagger and Henry and Bourne going to Raw, but I think SmackDown is still going to be awesome. I don't think they're going to have Edge when he comes back go to Raw. I think they're going to have him on SmackDown feud with Jericho. So it will be interesting. I think SmackDown will stay hot for as long as Michael Hayes books it well. The next question is from DoubleCrossKing. Yo Hammer, what are your following favorites? WWE pay-per-view, WWE pay-per-view, WrestleMania 19, but in the WWF era, maybe WrestleMania 3. Maybe WrestleMania 17. One of those two. TNA pay-per-view, Unbreakable 2005, or Bound for Glory 2005. Those are back-to-back pay-per-views, and they just were both amazing. ROH Show, Supercard of Honor 3, but I think the best DVD they put out was Bloodstained Honor, even though that was not a complete show. Other indie show, I'll probably have to go with Astonishing Xmas from PWG. That was a show, their last show, 2005. I thought that show is from top to bottom amazing and has the best match in PWG history on it, in my opinion, in Super Dragon versus Kevin Steen in a guerrilla warfare match. And another indie show of note, a recent show, 99, was really good, and so was 100. Both those shows were really good, and I did reviews of both of those. Favorite Japanese show, probably Wrestle Kingdom 3. I mean, I've not seen that great a card from top to bottom on a Japan show in a very, very long time. So, there's that. Next from DoubleCrossKing, again, I believe that Erick Stevens and Brent Albright should become a frequent tag team in order to create a dominating power team, like the Road Warriors, who is this guy's favorite tag team, without the makeup and shoulder pads. Do you think this would make for great matchups and benefit both guys? Absolutely I do. I don't think either of these guys right now could support being world champion or Ring of Honor world champion, and I don't think the fans necessarily want that. I think maybe if there was a secondary championship in ROH, they'd be great candidates to hold that title, but since there isn't that right now, I think that they could absolutely be great tag team champions. Them versus the Briscoes would be great. Them versus the Young Bucks versus Steen and Generico, the Super Smash Brothers. The list goes on and on. I think they would be very good, a very good powerhouse team. Basically everything the Dark City Fight Club, when they put them in there with real talent, is not. So, I mean, have the good kind of squashes that the Dark City Fight Club has, but actually you can have great matches with teams that are of good stature in ROH. Next is from Sean Carlton Zero. How do you feel about TNA building up people and the crowd getting behind the wrestler, only for TNA to bury them or let the heat cool down? And when they drop the ball with Hernandez like they did with Styles and Joe, basically it's TNA's demeanor, in my opinion. I think that TNA thinks it knows what's best for its company, but I think a lot of people on here would book better for TNA. Like if TNA hired myself, True Slayer, MB Wrestler 87, A-Stone, Crazy Mike, and just hired the slew of guys on here to book instead of everyone at backstage. If I forgot you and you like to book, I'm sorry, but like Flanders Robin, Big Rat 310, just all the other guys on here that would like to book TNA, I think we do a hell of a job with that product, with the talent that they have. And I feel that they're not going to drop the ball with Hernandez because Homicide is already in a dominant position as the X Division champion. But who knows? It's basically Vince Russo if he wants to or not. So, and who knows with TNA? I mean, it's not with my anxiety in the opinion if they just drop it again, because they're just going to do it over and over and over again. Next is from Sanders Robin. What made you want to start checking out other independent wrestling and Japanese wrestling companies? Did the WWE start boring you, or just natural interest? I think it was kind of both, or just more natural interest actually. I'm a really smart guy, I feel, and it's just natural interest. It's just more out there than WWE. It just kind of occurs to you after a little while. I mean, and even WWE hints it on a lot of their DVDs that aren't pay-per-views, and sometimes commentators and wrestlers hint at it on shows, and I checked it out and I love it. I mean, I'm a huge Ring of Honor fan, love Japanese wrestling, and PWG Chikara get me fixed on wrestling, and I just think it's a great decision if every fan kind of knew about other wrestling outside of WWE and TNA. Who's your Ring of Honor wrestler? This is again from Sanders Robin. Right now it is Davey Richards. I've been a big fan of him since I started watching the company, so basically from April of 07 to now it's Davey Richards, but my favorite all-time wrestler probably still is Davey Richards. I mean, I was a huge CM Punk. I like a lot of his stuff before he left for WWE, so maybe CM Punk. Maybe Colt Cabana. I mean, I'm a big fan of his too. Next from MrNarrator. I was wondering if you have seen any of the OVW shows from 2005. Some of my favorite storylines and matches occurred in OVW during this time. I also got a chance to see OVW live while CM Punk was champ there, and it was one of the most fun shows I've ever seen. I'm jealous. I have never seen a live OVW show, or a complete OVW show for that matter. I've seen scattered matches on WWE DVDs and over the internet. Like, one of my favorite OVW matches of all time is CM Punk when he was champion versus, I think it was versus Ken Kennedy. I think he was champion during that time, yeah. And I think it is on YouTube, too. Yeah, I did watch it on here. So, there's that. Maybe I need to start watching some more OVW. But it's no longer around. Maybe I should start watching more FCW, because Caval is my favorite wrestler there. So, there's that. Next question is from Reed of Those Wrestling Guys 09. Do you think there's any chance ROH could compete on mainstream level with TNA, let alone WWE, in 2 years? No, I don't think it's ROH's goal to compete with TNA and WWE right now. I think they should concentrate on get to live pay-per-view, live 3-hour pay-per-views, and getting a television deal set and good, and just getting all the things that make Ring of Honor great in tune with everything that they will do to make them more casual friendly, I guess is a good question, or a good response there. If you had to rearrange 3 people's gimmicks in WWE TNA, who would they be? I'd change Black Machismo, Jay Lethal. I think that he should just become the good athlete Jay Lethal again. I'd change Samoa Joe's gimmick. I think he's just fine as the regular Samoa Joe. Just let him be himself. That's kind of what made the Attitude Era so great. And one WWE gimmick I'd fix would be MVP. I'd turn him heel. TNA's been putting on solid impacts, at least when I wrote this. Do you think Hard Justice will be good because of that? I think Hard Justice will be okay. It'll be better than Victory Road for no doubt, but I think that they have a shot, and hopefully TNA does not blow it. That'll be my last question for right now. I'll start off next Q&A with more questions. Send me questions for Wrestling Sports. Thank you very much. Goodbye.